Hi, everybody. It's Monday morning, Julie, what's the date?
4th.
December 4th. And it's our first, true snowstorm of the winter season. It's not really nailing everyone, but it's getting the majority of the state with accumulating snow. The coastline, didn't get much, especially Portland South. We are seeing accumulation for the rest of our coastline. But the majority of the state's picking up, a few inches of heavy, wet snow, and it has caused problems for the morning commute, which is underway and, is kind of wrapping up now. Also created a lot of power outages, especially through the Oxford Hills. That's where the snow was like this batter, and it just drapes on everything. So those limbs are starting to sag, and then they crack, and then they bring down lines. So there's over 10,000 outages. There was over 20,000 outages throughout the state, but I feel like there's about 10,000 just in the Oxford Hills alone. Real quick look at the radar. I wanted to point out the temps here. Along the coast, you've got 35 Portsmouth, 32 Portland, 32 Wiscasset, 32 Rockland. So the accumulation is more difficult in these locations, and it's more evident on grass. It's more evident on rooftops. It's more evident on tree limbs. Not so much on the roads. A lot of the roads are just wet, or if there is snow cover on them, it's just a little bit of slush. The down east coast is a different story. Look at Bar Harbor, 30 degrees. So the accumulation in the down east coast is definitely more efficient, definitely better. There will be more snow there along the coastline than along the mid or south coast. And then inland, 31, 31, 28, 30, and then you've obviously got 20s for the mountains and Central Highlands and north. So this is where the problem areas are. That's where we saw the most snow, especially in the higher elevations in those spots, and again on non-paved surfaces. So let's talk snowfall totals. So if you want to get, I need to use my readers for this. If you want to get snow totals for your area, the National Weather Service has a network of trained spotters, and they go through a class or two, and they learn how to measure snow all the same way, so that there's uniformity there and a common thread, and things are kind of consistent from how people measure to how people measure in location to location. It may not be representative, especially with this storm, because with this type of snow, when it's really heavy and wet, it doesn't accumulate well on pavement, or it accumulates better on grass. And the way the Weather Service trains people how to measure snow, they use like a board, like a piece of plywood or something like that. They call it a snowboard, and you stick a ruler in it. So that wood surface is colder. It takes on more of the air's characteristics, as opposed to the pavement that retains a little bit of warmth. So it can be a little deceiving, but it doesn't matter. At least there's consistency. So I wanted to just read off a few of these totals. Get away. Okay, there we go. So I'll start with eastern and northern Maine. Here's the list. The Weather Service puts it. You can go to their website, the National Weather Service office out of Caribou. You can go to their website and you can look at this list, and they update it frequently throughout every storm. So we'll start in Penobscot County. Lincoln, 4.5 inches of snow. Bangor, 4 inches of snow. Hudson, 4. This is at the airport, BIA. 3.1 inches of snow. Millinocket, 3 inches. Patton, 2 inches. And, some of these are dated. For instance, the one out of BIA was at 6:48 this morning, and it's now almost 8:30. So it's a little dated. There's more than that now. Piscataquis County, the Central Highlands is getting the most. Kingsbury, 6 inches. Abbott, 6.7. Dover Foxcroft, 5. And these are also a couple of hours old, so you got to figure there's a few inches more. Washington County, okay, here we go. Eastport, 2.5 from 5:30. So there is a better accumulating snow on the down east coast. Pembroke, 2.6. Perry, 3 inches. And then I'll go to western Maine, western Maine and southern Maine. It's Monday. So there isn't like a consolidated list yet, but they are working on that. So I've got to kind of thumb through these. Let's see, 2 miles northwest of Falmouth Center, you've got 2.3 inches. Cumberland 2.8, Acton 4.2, Camden's got 4.6, and it's pretty wet stuff. In Franklin County, Rangeley, 8 inches of snow. Tell you, this early season snowfall for the mountains and north, awesome establishing base and snowpack for the beginning of the season, and it's just setting us up great for what's to come. Let's see what other Maine. Kingfield, 8.5. That's awesome. Manchester in Kennebec County, 8 inches. That's a lot. There's another report from Rangeley, 7. Jackman, 6.6. Lewiston, 5 inches. Skowhegan, 4.5 inches. Keyser Falls, 4 inches. Pownell, 3.6. The Jetport. Portland Jetport, 1.1 inches. And again, that's on a wood board. If you drive around town, all roads are wet, you know. So I don't even know that. I mean, I'm sure in some neighborhoods, or you know, you gotta plow or you gotta shovel the sidewalk or the driveway. But many of them you probably are just probably wet and not a big deal, or maybe just like a little coating of slush. But on that board, the snowboard at the Jetport, there's 1.1 inches. So that gives you an idea of what's. I got to get out of this to show you. I'll just show you a quick timeline, and then I got to send you on your way because I got to cut it in about 1:30. So, come on, computer, catch up with me. All right, here we go. Here we go. So here's a quick timeline, and the worst is over at this point. The center of the low pressure, the larger storm, is starting to move away, and that's so we're going to see these heavier and steadier snow bands continue to weaken and fall apart. So this is as we approach noon. This is noon right here, and it's just kind of snow showery out there. It's cloudy. Roads are much better at this point. This afternoon, kind of the same thing. I'll take you up to 5 o'clock for your drive home. You know, it's cloudy. There are going to be some snow showers out there, even through tonight too. Like, I wouldn't be shocked, and you shouldn't be either, if you get up tomorrow morning and on your freshly cleaned car or your freshly cleaned sidewalk or front stairs or whatever, there's another ½ inch of snow, because we are going to see a few more snow showers through the night, and they'll end first thing tomorrow morning. And then the rest of the week, entire work week, is storm-free, just really cold. Our temperatures are going to be in the 30s, like 30 to 35, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but they will be sunny days. Then we're going to warm up Saturday and Sunday through the 40s, maybe 50 on Sunday. And our next storm, we're kind of in this Monday storm thing right now. Our next storm is a week away, and it looks like it'll be another Monday storm. But with those warm temperatures, I'm thinking wet and not white. Could be some rain and maybe some decent wind out of it too. So power outages are kind of sitting somewhere back there in the back of my mind. And I'll start thinking, you know, once we get closer, we'll iron that stuff out. So, you know, the worst is pretty much over with this storm. There's still a couple of inches of accumulation to go through the mountains and higher elevations and hills in the Central Highlands, eastern Maine too, Bangor, down east. But from, I'd say, Augusta area south, you know, scattered coatings, that kind of thing. So if you're out and about this morning or about to be, drive safely. Otherwise, this afternoon, you should encounter much better road conditions and smooth sailing for you. So that's it for this storm. We'll see what happens with the next one, and I'll catch you then. Bye.